So we're at the Kentucky Horse Park, and we came down during the Young Riders Championship, and our purpose was really to come and introduce the eyeD camera to the public for the first time and see how their reactions are, and just answer any questions people may have about the technology and stuff. So far it's actually been very well received. So we were actually invited by the veterinary community to be in the quarantine area, which enabled us to be with horses and actual owners and teams and riders. And we've had a lot of interest of the owners coming over and say, hey, we saw you get up and speak at our rider meeting, and what is this all about? So we've talked to people and we say, hey, you know what, if you'll let us, we'll just take a picture of your horse. And when we do it, everyone's like, well, that's all it is? And we're like, that's all it is. The eyeD system is made up basically of three components. There is the camera, which is really the center point of the system. The eyeD.com back-end website, which we call our global site. And then there's a piece of client software, which you load on your laptops or your computers. It's called iSync. And for those of people familiar with iPods and iTunes, it's pretty similar to the way iTunes works with an iPod or an iPhone to load stuff onto the device. So basically what happened is the camera interacts with iSync to get the data of horses, their metadata and their eye data, so that when animals have already been registered and they come to an event, you can just verify, and if that animal is in the system, it'll tell you who it is. If not, you can actually register that animal on the camera, and you then sync it with that iSync software, and then it goes up to the global database, and so the next time that animal comes, it's actually registered, so long as the information's been loaded onto that camera. Now, talking a little bit about the camera specifically, the device we're using right now is a field-ready prototype. The front of it is wide because what it consists of two illuminators, which are LED illuminators in the infrared light spectrum, and a lens, and that's what's behind the front housing. And then you have a handle with the trigger, and that's really how you start the process. And then there's, because this is a field-ready device, we did not take the time to incorporate the computer into it. We basically just wanted to work on the algorithm and the illumination and the camera. So we bought an off-the-shelf computer called an M-Book, and we loaded our software on it, which actually drives the camera and the device. And there are a bunch of different modes on the software, but the two main ones that we use are enrollment and verification. So enrollment is just what it seems. That's what we term registration. That's when you enter the horse information, so their name, owner name, email, breed, things along those lines. And then you take a picture of the right eye and then take a picture of the left eye. And that then enrolls that animal. And the other mode is called verification, and that's when the animal comes up and you hold the camera to its eye, and about 12 to 14 inches away, you take a picture, and that's when we verify who that animal is and which animal that is. So the camera is actually pretty easy to use. It's about the same as taking a picture with your digital camera or using a video camera. When you hold the camera up to do either verification or enrollment, the camera has a guide on it. So it has basically a box that turns all green, green outline, and that tells you that you're the correct distance away. And when you're the correct distance away, you then click the trigger, and that starts the process to try to grab images that you're going to either verify with or enroll with. And there's a buffer, so it's a bunch of green vertical lines that fill up, and as soon as that's filled, you click the trigger again, and that'll then go through, the algorithm will then work through that and find an image that is best suited for enrollment or verification.